smartphone, you know what I mean? Like you sort of just you actually distance yourself a lot from society, and I like that because I know one thing I think would benefit you like even more is if you came and experienced like working on an estate, like in the middle of nowhere. You know what I mean? Like there's nothing. Like, all you're doing is just working your standard job every day, and you just sort of see the way things are. So it's kind of it's really weird because like you kind of forget society's actually a thing. Because you get so much caught up in like waking up 9 in the morning, going out, cutting up the air, doing all that sort of stuff, and then you go to bed, and it actually happens over like 2 or 3 weeks, and you realise, fucking hell, what's Facebook? Like what, you know what I mean? You actually forget about like what folk are saying on Facebook, what WhatsApp is, like all that sort of stuff. It's weird because when I would come back to it, I'd be like, right, this is actually these people. Like there is actually folk who don't live like that. Like, you know what I mean? There is actually people who
nigga, please!
but we live in a society where folk actually do live like that, but when I went and done away...
We live in a society where there's a consensus, and there's a lot of people that have no consensus.
Yeah, but what freaked me out is that, like, I've realised, like, what life is actually like without technology, even in a time with technology. I mean, you look on the outside of it, like, I'm 21 and I'm getting pissed off at my bandmate.
You're realising now that you are... Like it's one of the scariest things in the world to realise that you are not. It's like you are a subject of this reality, not one participating in it.
Not the object.
No, I mean, like I said, I think that we're all God. You look at Pepsi, he's God. You look at a caterpillar, he's God. I think that we're all just one raj organism that's all experiencing things completely different at the same time.
Just clear my throat.
I mean, any day, like, if I know I've shot deer, I've killed quite a lot of animals, and like I feel grim about it. But at the same time, like,
why do you feel grim?
Because it's a grim thing to do. Like, the things I've done are pretty.
No, like there's some shit by the way.
Well, I heard something recently. It was about killing a spider every day just to keep the edge.
No, that's not.
You didn't tell me about that.
No, it was on a podcast, I think.
I remember hearing. No, that was Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan was talking about it with the guy that was talking about the Meat Eater podcast.
Steve Rinella, that's who it was. He kills a spider or something.
So basically the guy was saying his whole philosophy was you need at least kill one thing each day.
If you're going to be a soldier...
He's a fucking prick.
Like,
just to make sure you can where you stand.
Think about the soldiers though. When you want your soldiers at least practicing every day.
See you think, no, Daniel even back
at least you can kill one thing. At least you can kill one
thing. Daniel back out, like, see things that I've seen on the estate, like, even actually fucked me up, like...
Stephen. Like,
I'll tell you one story. This is one story, right? So there's this guy. It's actually funny. It's that bad.
Stephen,
but it's
Peter,
really
it's
bad.
not even funny.
It's kind of funny, but
it's not funny.
But like, so essentially, I used to work in this estate, right?
Like Peter, Stephen, like tell you, like you know, like really, I'm not even being 100%. Like I would more than likely, I would kill this person.
I would kill him too.
Okay.
Like I would kill him. Happily.
Right. Essentially, I was a
This is me speaking.
So I was essentially a ghillie, but a ghillie is the person that is the helping hand, right?
And
so I get Daniel. I'll explain the story. So I was a ghillie.
Your point of view on this thing.
But he's really, I would murder this cunt happily. But like essentially, I was in college, and way it works in college is you get put to an estate to do X amount of work, whatever. So I went to one estate, and then when I was on the estate, I got sent to a neighbouring estate, Blackmount Estate, right? And I really shouldn't even say that, to be fair. But there's this guy who's a fox hunter, right? And what he used to do was he would trap rabbits in a galvanised box trap, which is essentially he'd dig a square in the ground, and he'd bury it, and he'd put funnels in, and he'd put feed out, obviously, and he'd trap all the rabbits and the hares, mostly hares. Hares are the ones that make the noise, and you know what I mean in a minute. You trap rabbits and you trap hares, and what you do is you put them all in a bag. And I would watch this guy do this. This is not just me talking.
Just to preface this, his whole charge, like what he was employed to do, was keep foxes away.
This is what I was. So let me get to.
I can tell you what is going to happen.
Listen. So what he'd do is he'd trap all the hares in a galvanised box trap, and he'd put them into a bag, and he'd drag all that still alive. And what he'd do is he'd drag the bag out into the middle of what he called basically essentially the midden. So the midden's like here. This essentially a valley. And what he'd do is he'd kick fuck at the bag until they all started squealing. And then I was there working, like doing this with him, and like I had to sit on top of the hill, and what he had was a thermal scope, and he'd just wait for the foxes to come in, because obviously the noise that
Yeah.
the hears make
Yeah.
attract the fox. So I was just sitting there watching this guy just picking off fucking foxes, while all these fucking hares were just sort of screaming in his back on the ground.
So the hares were collateral damage in that whole situation.
Yeah, that was
There's
what you
just
did.
literally a load of souls.
It's a means to an end for.
Oh, that is like the one of the most. That's nothing to what I've done. Like I had to put a sheep out with a knife. That's probably the hardest thing I've ever
No,
done.
but this is the thing though. See, if you really think about it, he wanted to kill that guy.
Oh, genuinely, I was right next to a gun. I wanted to actually.
He had a gun
Why didn't you do it?
because that was his only way home.
Yeah, it's genuinely like I was in the middle of
no.
nowhere. I was in the middle of
Stephen.
nowhere.
That is 100%
How
fucking
selfish.
No.
The hell
Really
am I
think-
at home?
No, but
Okay.
think about that as an actual fucking reality. Like,
I know.
that was the only way he could get home.
Yeah. Well, you could have drove his car, right?
But the guy's fucking literally sitting there kicking fuck out of literally baby animals.
Yeah.
What'd you do? In the middle of nowhere.
I have a.
See, I'm
word
going
with
to
him.
I'm going to be honest. I don't want to sit and act like I'm going to be honest. I don't
Tell
want
him
to
not
act like
to
a
do
saint.
it.
Like, see, at the time, like I was so like in the moment when it was happening. I wasn't really like. I was doing what I was told. So like I was being told to like obviously do this, do that. I was like fine, whatever. But see, like after it, it is like PTSD. You know what I mean? After it, you're sitting there, you're like fucking hell. Like I actually was involved in that.
You were
You
told
were
to do
being the
something you didn't wanna do.
actuality of the devil in that moment in time because
Yeah.
you were only doing.
But that's not the first thing. I think for me is I was built
But
up
the
to
thing
that
is-
moment.
the thing
so
is
much,
though,
I've
the-
killed a lot of animals to that point.
It's
So
not
like
even- it's
I
not
did. I'm not
even-
gonna lie. I did get numb to it. I'll be honest. Like I'm not gonna lie. At the moment, I probably didn't give as much of a fuck as I do now. That's a horrible thing to think about. But I was built. I was like, you know what I mean. I was built out of that, doing like killing animals. That was my job. You know what I mean. If there was X amount of animal to go somewhere to shoot,
Just to keep the edge.
well, it wasn't even just keep the edge, it was my job, like, you know what I mean, that was what I did, I studied and that, but at the time when I was working in the state, I was like, this is bad, but like, even, I knew at the time, I was like, this is bad, but like, I was like, what did I, like,
Well, they are.
what did I do?
They
Like,
are a problem, though, right? There's a pest problem.
yeah, a pest problem, but
Yeah.
like, it was more like what he did, like, there's a,
Yeah.
I know a better way to hunt foxes, like,
Yes.
I know a better way to hunt
The
foxes.
rabbits aren't the problem.
Hares aren't the problem either.
Yeah.
But like,
It just is the thing though. Like, you know, there's a reason I'm not standing on Pepsi's fucking head.
I mean, I've had to
Yeah, I mean,
shoot,
you
Daniel,
are,
one thing I
really
want to
weird
say to
thing
you,
to do.
You
Daniel,
know what I'm saying though? Like,
Daniel, one thing I want to say to you,
you
I've had
can't
to, I've
do-
shot cats, I've had to shoot
I
cats.
know you're saying you've shot cats, and I'm not. I don't.
No, but I mean, that's
like-
one thing that freaks me out is like, I feel like in my brain what freaks me out is that one thing that I'll take to my grave is when I had to put a sheep with a knife. That was probably the one that got me. Like after all seeing that with the rabbits, and that, I didn't do it, so I didn't feel.
Why did you take the sheep?
So the sheep had Lyme's disease. So you
So
know,
it was a
ticks-
mercy killing.
Yeah, mercy killing, but I
Right.
I put a knife through its jugular.
But
and
it
that
was.
was so personal. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
and
Looking at this animal
I knew I was
in the
dead.
face, like
And it
you're
was
the
like-
person who takes its life.
and I was like, something that I'll take to my grave. I remember that. I was like, something I'll always think about. But,
But
like,
what if it was thanking you?
I hope,
Yeah,
I
maybe
hope
it
it
was.
was. I hope it was. I fucking hope it was. You know what I mean? Like, it was just such a. It was for me. Like, I will actually always think I'll be something I will take to my grave because like. One thing I do remember about it is this sheep had Lyme. Like, I look at it as beautiful, but I don't know if it was the same for the sheep. But this thing was like absolutely ridden with ticks. Like I'm talking like you could not get more fucked than this fucking sheep, right? This thing was minging with ticks, and you could tell his brain was fucked, it was twitching and all that. So what we did is we dragged it to the side of the road, and this is one of the most beautiful estates I ever worked on. Like it's up in Tyndrum, and it's like the overlook. I had a lake, I had the mountains, I had fucking everything. You know what I mean? And like we dragged it to the side of the road. We gave it a minute, and then he said, Sandy was like, "Do you want to do it?" And I was like, "I'll do it." And then I walked up and I just like grabbed it and I sort of looked at it. I looked it in the eyes, and then I just done it. But when I took the knife out and I looked at it, I rested its head and it had that fucking beautiful thing. It was like at the end of the day, if I was that sheep, I had that beautiful.
That's the
view.
thing though. That is
Yeah.
it's literally like that is.
If you.
It's quite scary when you think about it in that
Nah,
actuality. But like